job, Alan. It was awesome. Was it good online? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, that painting is in all the different hotel, at least the suites like this. My partner Dave has the same suite. We were on a webinar today. We both had the same exact background running in the webinar. Thought that was kind of cool. The summit was unreal. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, we really try to convey what we talk about so that when we're talking, if we're talking about vulnerability, we're feeling vulnerability. If we're talking about tension, we're playing with tension. If we're talking about turn on, we're getting into our turn on. So you guys can get a feel of it. And this is why so many of you went out Saturday night and had such a big, huge shift, because you go out Saturday night and all this stuff happens. It's almost like a transference that happens as you watch us. You start to feel it, and that feeling connects. It's one thing to talk about something analytically. Like I could talk about feeling in an analytical way, but that won't convey feeling. And when we actually start to convey feeling, it's awesome. Okay, cool. Just silencing the phone here. Just kept going off. Make her quiet. Let's see. Let's check a couple of your comments before we get started while I'm letting everybody come in. Yeah, I wish I went in person. Yeah, I knew that would happen. I mean, last night, guys, we went to Joe's Crab. What is it? Crab? I forgot the name of it already. Not Crab Shack, but it's Crab something else. And it was delicious. Oh my God. Apparently I was told that presidents have the key lime pie flown to Washington, D.C. just to have it from this restaurant. And I'll tell you, I had a couple of bites of it. It was incredible. So let's dive in. Good to have each one of you here. We're up to 30 people on the call here, and then we've got more on YouTube. So everybody's on YouTube. I can't see your chat. We've got somebody monitoring both chats. They'll be answering a lot of questions. Jonathan's monitoring the chat here. You can see him. He just posted. Comments go here. Q&As go in the Q&A box, which I'll be looking at later. And we're going to be talking about what basically makes you desirable to women as a man. And to understand this better, I want to talk about what makes a woman desirable to you, and understand that you both have specific gifts you're giving each other that turn each other on. And men often make the mistake of thinking that women view men the same way men view women, and they don't. And there's a different way, because the masculine looks at the feminine one way, the feminine looks at the masculine another way. They don't see each other. And what pulls the feminine to the masculine is not what pulls the masculine to the feminine. You're actually a polarity to each other. And that's part of what makes you so attractive to women, so sexy to women, so magnetic to women, is when men that are good with women understand that what polarizes the women, what gift they're giving to the women. You're giving a gift to the women, and they're giving a gift in return, or vice versa. So I want to ask you guys, what is that gift women give to you? I want to see some comments in the chat. What do they do? What do they do that feels good to you? What makes you feel happy, or when you see this in a woman, this quality, this way of being? You can talk about looks too, the superficial stuff, but let's get deeper and deeper. Daniel, how does she do that? What is it about her that's brightening? I feel warm and calm. So you're a submission. Submission's a good answer. They become submissive to you when they like you, when they think you're a masculine, solid man. When they don't trust you, they can be very dominant. Women give us flow. Yeah, a lot of flow in our life. Beauty. They are the sex that's a representation of beauty and surrender. And that beauty is really powerful, because beauty needs a witness. So who's the witnesser of the beauty, right? Smile, nurturing, flowing. How about healing, caring? Nurturing's a great one. Expression. They're very expressive in their energy. They got this outward flowing, giving. They play with subtle emotions. How about their dance? Radiance is a great answer. How about their dance with subtle emotions? Their ability to see and look into you and see the littlest subtle emotion you're hiding, or something you might be pulling back or holding back on. And have you guys noticed that beauty is very healing? very nurturing, very inspiring. It does all these things. Imagine a world without beauty, without radiance, without expression, without flow. How would the world work if you didn't have that? Dry, stale. Yeah. That's why I hate Germany. Good answer. Funny answer. Um, Not good. Boring. Yeah. And so this is what women represent. And so women work really hard at their job. And some of us men resent them for it and love them for it. In other words, we see a sexy woman that's worked hard at looking sexy. Maybe she's gone to the gym. Maybe she works on the subtle way she walks, drops into her hips, rolls her body, tosses her hair. And she's doing all these subtle little things that she knows people feel. And then we resent her for it at the same time. We're turned on by it. We're pulled in by it. We're inspired by it. And then a lot of men also get resentful. Why would a man get resentful of all that? Do any of you experience that sense of resentment? Insecurity is a good answer because he doesn't contain it himself. That's right. He doesn't contain it and he wants it and he's jealous of her having it. So instead of enjoying it on her, he wants to get that energy. He can't get a woman. He can't get a woman in his bed. And he begins to resent the women for having the sexual power that they have. He perceives that power is greater than him. That's because he doesn't perceive his masculine as equal to her feminine. They want to possess her. Yep. Yes. Sometimes it feels like men are not given permission to shine in the same way. It's actually not true, Kapila, but we think that. And because that's a feminine energy, this expression, and some of us men want to compete with it. We see all the validation women get from it, and we want to be it because we want all that validation for ourselves because we want to be validated. And if you were to shine like that, you would then be competing with the feminine all the time. Gay men often do a really good job of being extremely feminine and shining. There's also very masculine men that do a pretty good job of embodying some feminine too. If you look at people that are highly masculine and feminine at the same time, there's some amazing people out there that have really mastered that energy. Prince was one, so forth. Michael Jackson played with radiance a lot. So, but what we're looking at here is when you look at it, is that I don't see Obama having feminine. No, he's very dry, staunch, stern, controlled. He's actually controlling himself all the time, very careful. The Rock has a certain amount of feminine, a very masculine guy with a certain amount of expressive, free-flowing energy, and he doesn't apologize for it, does he? Got a little bit too much gain. Something's off on this mic. I think I'm gonna have to clean the connections. Can you guys see that on The Rock? Yeah, The Rock shines, and he loves to shine, doesn't he? He loves to be seen. He's good at being seen. He loves putting all that flow, and he's kind of beautiful in certain ways, right? How about Brad Pitt in his early days? He loved being beautiful. He was competing with women all the time, and so you can do it. But you don't have to do it. If all you really want is women and you want to be a powerful man, you don't have to shine that level of women. Matter of fact, you probably don't want to. Let women do it. Let women shine for you, dance for you. If you can get a little bit of it. I say definitely could develop a little bit of it. If you love developing it, develop it. But if you start to understand how to develop the qualities that make you attractive as a man, you're going to be just as interesting for completely different reasons than the woman. You're going to be attractive for different women. Yeah, you'll have some radiance. You'll dress nice. You'll flow. You'll feel good, so forth. But women, on the other hand, men, on the other hand, there's a different energy that gives men that women are looking for. A lot of women don't want to date a man that's more beautiful or flowing better than she does. What they really want to do is date a man that's powerful. So yes, Russell Brand has a lot of expressive energy. What are the qualities that make you desirable to a woman as a man? Because it's not necessarily looks, guys. Looks can get the door open. You're a male model. Women will be bumping over to you. They'll be pulled over to you. But how many of those women will bump over to a really good looking guy that's got a lot of expression and flow energy, and then they get to know him, they lose all interest? Why would they immediately lose interest? Because he has something that he's missing. That the flowing guy is often missing these qualities that are core to a woman's attraction, core to her wanting to sleep with him, to be with him, to date him. And we got grounding in here from Daniel. That's one. Behavior is what is in the behavior. And grounding is very true. It's you got to be super grounding. That's really important. That's what makes all the rest work. Purpose and drive. Purpose is important. Drive is important. Comfortable in his own skin. That we call that freedom from outcome. Not worried about what others think of you. Drive would be decisiveness or intention. I feel more courageous. I am more. The female is interested in me and looking towards me. Honesty's got to be number one. Honesty is your ability to step into tension. I always talk about tension. And guys that are really good with tension, grounding and tension skills are huge, 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 guys. Your ability, you can feel a man that's good with tension. You can feel a man that can walk in tension. Okay, there was a couple of you at the workshop this weekend. How much this weekend did we play with tension with the crowd? How much this weekend did I step into tension with the crowd? Did I play and raise the tension, drop the tension, flow with the tension, challenge people? Yeah. That's what keeps you guys so damn interested, is I'm playing with the tension the whole time. And I'm raising it and lowering it and basically having fun with it, dancing with it. And I can't do that if I'm not grounded. So your groundedness and your tension skills are two key things that make you attractive to a woman as a man. They make you attractive. Now, why is this? Does anybody know why these? And these are just two of the qualities, right? All of these can be a practice. Matter of fact, have you ever noticed that sometimes there's unattractive, ugly guys that technically don't fit the model of good looks dating really hot girls? You ever wonder why that is? Do you ever go over and get to know these guys? Or do you just judge them and walk away? What are they like? Have you ever saw are they good with tension? Are they good with grounding? Are they ballsy? You know? Who here has a height complex? Thinks they can't get women because they're too short? Woody Allen. He's a great example. Woody Allen did pretty damn good with women. Okay, who here has a height complex? Anybody? Only a cock complex. Doesn't matter either. I have a height complex. So, Alan, how tall are you? I've got tiny friends who kill it with girls. Tiny, 5'3". That's awesome, Ellen. We have, do you ever take a workshop, you get into the secret page. In the secret page, we have a coach, Eddie, who mainly only coaches in there. I'll actually bring him on the channel. I think I did an interview with him recently. He's 5'2". Killed it with women. He came in terrible, though. He was terrible. And we had to do a bunch of work with him to get him past his fear. He was actually pretty good with tension, but he wasn't vulnerable enough. And when he got vulnerable enough, he got better with tension because he started to calibrate his tension. His tension was uncalibrated before. And as he got better with tension, women started to really get attracted to him because he was grounded. He could lead. He had purpose. He had direction. He was great with tension. He didn't apologize. He was really comfortable with himself. And even though he was 5'2", he had women chasing him like crazy. And now he's married to a very beautiful woman that is actually taller than him. And here's the interesting thing. I remember one night Eddie called me, and he tells all these stories, so I can tell him. One night he called me. He was in our week-long program, and he was developing these skills that I'm talking about today. And he called me, and he said, "Brian, why doesn't anybody, care about me? Why doesn't anybody love me?" He was really upset that night. And I remember saying to Eddie, basically he'd been drinking. So I said, "Dude, call me tomorrow when you're not drinking." So he was in the middle of that. He was having his breakdown before his breakthrough. And the next day he had a huge breakthrough. And the next thing you know, he took this big, tall, beautiful, not big, but tall, beautiful blonde home that next day. And he was amazed at how easy it was in the end. And he was like, wow, that was absolutely incredible. And he whispered something in her ear that we were kind of talking about whispering. playing with whispering, and he whispered in her ear and got her all turned on. And then after that, it seemed like he turned on this faucet and he couldn't stop it. He started getting women like crazy. He went to this bar in Hollywood and he was hanging out with a guy who was a prince from the Middle East and somewhere, I don't know where, and a boxer that had just won a belt. He won a championship. And both these guys were too nervous to go get girls. They were sitting at one of the hotel bars, really nice one. And so they asked Eddie to go get some girls. And Eddie's like, me? You guys are the celebrities. And the guys was like, yeah, can you go pull some girls over for us? And he goes, okay. So he goes over and talks to some cute girls and invites them over. And they come sit down. And he said, I introduce, here's the Prince so-and-so. And here's this guy, I just want a title. I introduce him. The girls talk to him for a bit. And within no time, both the girls end up talking to me. And they keep flirting with me. And he goes, and the next day he called me. He's like, I don't get it. These guys are both famous in some way, shape, or form, or they have at least social proof. And yet both these girls wanted to be with me. And I've got both their phone numbers. They both want to go on dates with me. I'm going on dates with both of them. I don't understand this. And what had happened is he started to embody these qualities and started to attract women, but his belief in himself hadn't caught up with who he had become. You see, women are looking for guys like this all the time. They're not running around randomly hoping they meet a guy. They're dying to meet a guy. They're going out of their way to meet a guy. They're dreaming about meeting a really good guy that gets these qualities. Not a guy who's pretending, not a guy who's lying, not a guy who's full of shit, but a guy who really gets these qualities and really understands what it is to be a man. And then what happens is they want to turn up their feminine for that guy. They want to dress sexier for that guy. They want to be more in their feminine flowing for that guy. They want to give him more beauty. They want to dance for him. They want to perform for, they want to turn it all up for the guy that can do this stuff because it makes them happy. And so Nelson wrote, I'm experiencing that, developing skills, but belief has not caught up yet. So you're getting more results, but your belief hasn't caught up yet. And that starts to happen. And I'm going to give you another thing that might happen, Nelson. As you get better, you guys all mark my words, as you get better, you start attracting more and more women. And then one day they turn off and there's no more women. And you're running around going, I went backwards. And this is a very common thing for guys that are getting better to have happen. And they come to me and they go, I went backwards. I don't get it. I went backwards. All the women disappeared. And I'm like, no, you didn't go backwards. Let's talk about it. And it's usually one simple thing. And there's two reasons they say it actually, but the main reason is they started to date all these women. They were doing really good. And then suddenly, unconsciously, without realizing it, they get pickier. And suddenly the women they were getting, they don't want. And they move their bar up a notch. And they're like, I want that type of woman. Another type of woman that scares them. Another type of woman that makes them nervous. And so they start going after the new type of woman that makes them nervous. And then they're in mind, they're like, oh, because they think they're getting worse again, but they're actually stepping into more tension or perceived tension for them. And they have to deal with that new tension. If they backed back up to the woman they were dating before, it'd be no problem. Because they're not scared of those women anymore. They're comfortable. And happened to me backwards a couple of times. True, my bar went sky high, though. And that's what happens. And that's okay. That's a great thing to have happen. You know, people like Richard Branson and Elon Musk keep setting the bar higher in business, don't they? Like trying to figure out how to fly to Mars is a major raise of the bar. And so this stuff happens, so don't beat yourself up. Another one that happens, and I'll tell you, is that guys start to get more vulnerable, start to feel more. Their heart opens more. And that's the feeling part. We haven't talked about that yet. And that's another quality that men need to have is a little bit of vulnerability to be able to calibrate. There's a little bit of femininity. You don't have to have as much as her, but enough to be able to calibrate when she's turned on, when she's leaning in, when she's flowing, to create the dance between you and her so you stop thinking. If you get a right amount of vulnerability mixed with tension, you'll stop thinking and you'll start flowing. Just like when you're with your best friend, you don't sit there and analyze every word. You just flow with your best friend. You talk, you have a great time. Well, it's the same thing with women, but you drop deeper into your masculine, you turn on, and then you dance off her and you flow and you feel just like you would in sports. You know, just like you would on a surfboard playing tennis, you feel and you feel the flow and the vibration between you two. You're not thinking the whole time, right? What would happen if you were thinking on a surfboard? You're going to fall off. What would happen if you're thinking while playing, trying to analyze your tennis game while trying to play? What would happen if you're boxing and you're thinking too much? You're going to get hit a lot more. So it's the same thing. Dating is not a thinking thing. You don't analyze a woman into bed. So we need to stop that. We need to develop these qualities. So that flow, that feeling starts to get more real in a guy. A lot of guys don't have enough of it when they start, or it goes deeper and you start to feel the woman more. And there's a sense of a higher level of vulnerability in your body. And you get a little scared of it. Then you start holding back with women again. You start holding back because you could, but you'll notice when you drop in and you let yourself stop holding back, you can actually connect with them deeper than ever before. So that's also not going backwards. That's just getting comfortable being more raw in conversation, more real, more of who you are meant to be at a deep level. And at first we shy away from it because it's scary. We can get more hurt in that place, but we're also more powerful in that place. I get insecure because I feel I'm not great in conversation. Sometimes I just don't know what to say. You don't need to know what to say, John. That's a misnomer and a lie that your subconscious tells you. You don't have to be a great conversationalist. There's a lot of guys that are quiet, that are simple, that are phenomenal with women. There's guys that say a lot. A lot of guys make you think you got to say all this fancy shit. You don't. You got to feel in your body. And you can say basic stuff. Hey, how you doing? If you open your heart and drop into your turn on and really enjoy her and she feels your appreciation, she's going to feel that coming across with words or without words. And you're like, hey, how you doing? And she'll enjoy that. Now, if you have your heart partially closed, you're in your head, you're disconnected from your body, you're going to have to talk more. That's when you have to be better at conversation and compensate by rambling, talking, trying to hide the fact that you are nervous as fuck, can't feel, and not present. So getting these qualities down is more important. And as you get more comfortable, good with tension, you'll actually become naturally a better conversationalist because you'll stop giving a damn what people think of you, and you'll start saying funny shit and fun shit because you won't be worried about what people think of you. Okay, Frederick wrote, I have no problem with tension or approaching any beautiful women. I have a hard time getting them to feel the same emotions I'm feeling. That's the vulnerability part I was just talking about. That's the opening of the heart, Frederick. And that you don't need much of. You just need to get it open a little bit, then you have to let them feel you. That's when you'll begin to feel their emotions and they begin to feel yours. And that's where I do a lot of meditations on opening my heart. Now, your tension skills might get a little wonky as your heart opens because you get a little more nervous, and you should get a little more nervous. That is perfect. And then you show up in the middle of the nervousness. You show up, yeah, look at you. You make me nervous, but I'm here anyways. Not, hi, you make me a little nervous. I just want to say hi. And you see the pulling away? The other one is, no, you make me nervous. I had to come say hi to you. What's your name? And there's a big difference in those. But women should make you a little nervous, Frederick. It actually makes you better with the women if they make you a little nervous and you own it. How do you handle being more vulnerable? You step into it and own it. You make fear your friend. Like, as I get more vulnerable, it's the raw thing inside of me. I'm like, yeah, I'm vulnerable. I like it. But if you're afraid of emotions, if you have a story about emotions, you need to deal with that, because showing your emotions, as long as you're not needy to them or a victim to them, as long as you show you can handle them, you can be as nervous, sad, scared, or whatever, and it's attractive. If you're a victim to them, it's not attractive. If it's, oh, poor me, not sexy. If it's, oh, I'm scared, I'm going to handle it, or I'm sad, but I can handle it, there's a different attitude in that. Okay? How do you get your body feel in the same way they are feeling? I'm not sure what you mean by that. You don't want to feel in the same way they are feeling. Don't become feminized. Feel in the way men feel, and then connect to her. What is that? Is that what you mean by what? By venting? Or is that something else? I'm not sure what or vibing, I think is what you're trying to write there. Vibing, okay, down there. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, vibing is when you're actually feeling the other person as a flow back and forth and you're surrendering to the vibe. So, okay, so let's go a little deeper now. Now, I talked about why tension is attractive and feeling is attractive. And so being and feeling, which is vulnerability, then you got tension, and then you've got the stepping into tension, then you've got grounding. And these qualities are what bring value. And there's a feminine counterpart to each one that the women have. And these are what bring quality to women's lives and want to get them to know you. Now, why is tension so attractive to women? And why is it balanced with a little bit of vulnerability for men? And why do women have more vulnerability typically and some tension skills, and we find that attractive, the opposite? Because if you look at primitive times, men that were good with tension were the leaders of the tribe, were the best hunters, the best at getting food, protecting, providing. And if they had just enough vulnerability, they had enough awareness to stay calm under pressure and adjust the subtleties of the situation so they didn't get killed. You see, think about it. If you were in a tribe 1,000 years ago, you had to go hunting for a woolly mammoth or something that wouldn't be 1,000, it'd be way longer than 1,000 years ago. But let's say you had to go hunting for buffalo or something. And there's a chance you're going to get killed if you run out there and you got to fight with a spear. And you've got a partner and she's just had some children. She's going to feel much safer the better you are with tension, the calmer you stay under pressure, the more present you are. And if you've got some vulnerability skills, the ability to feel emotions, she's also going to feel better when you're gone for a week at a time hunting with a tribe, because you're going to be able to relate and connect and feel and adjust to everybody. Now, when you come home, that's where the feminine part will take over, and they'll go deeper into that vulnerability piece. We're not going to go as much into that right now. But that's why it's so important. Their genes are programmed to look for men that are good with tension. It doesn't matter if they have money or not. There are guys out there that are really good with tension and vulnerable, that have a lot of money, that don't have much money. And there's guys I've met that have a lot of money that come to me many times and can't get women because they're too good. They're not too good with tension. They don't have any vulnerability to bounce the tension off of the feeling skills. In other words, they take their tension and they bulldoze, like, hi, how are you? My name's Brian. What's your name? Where are you from? They don't stop and feel her and say, hi. You gotta feel your emotions. Go, my name's Brian. What's yours? And then step right into the tension. You know what? You're interesting. Where are you from? And then drop into curiosity and let you feel the curiosity, because it can be felt. The women will feel when you're curious. They'll feel when you're appreciative. They'll feel when you're turned on. And then you got to have the tension skills to drop into your turn on and say, I like my turn on, and let her see it, there's something about you. And then you look at her with a feeling turn on, and she's like, wow, that's interesting. He's powerful with that. So let me look at a couple more of these comments. I still don't understand what attracts women in me. I think it's super important to feel it, but I don't get it. And as I am never attracted to men, I understand it logically, but I don't feel it. That's something you can work on, like developing tension skills, developing groundedness skills, starting to feel it and enjoy it. She'll enjoy it even more. I enjoy grounding a woman. I enjoy creating a container. I enjoy leading. I enjoy being turned on in front of a woman. And I love it when I can feel her feeling me grounding her, because I know they love it. And it's actually an exchange of feeling, not of thought. I can feel when a woman is connecting to me, leaning into me a little bit and getting curious because of how I'm being. When I grab her hand and I can feel her body calm down, it's really nice. Let's see what else. Can you give an example of vulnerable? Like I already did, but an example is being sad, being scared, being nervous, being turned on, being curious, being interested, being real with it, being honest, not making it up, not pretending. Like I can actually feel curiosity in my heart. I can look at somebody, feel appreciation, and I can bring it up and bring it down at will. And if I'm really curious about somebody, naturally it amplifies it. Like if there's a woman in front of me that's, there's something about you and I want to know more, she'll see it in my eyes, she'll feel it in my subcommunication, in my energy. If I'm a little nervous, I'll be like, damn, you make me nervous. And I'll pull back and maybe I'll get embarrassed and I'll let her see me turn red, but I own it. Like, oh yeah, you did that to me. Look at you. You're a troublemaker. Um, what if you think you got to be fun around women? You can be deep, you can be fun. You'll draw the type of women that are right for you. Whether if you want deep women, you want fun women, but it's not bad to be fun. It's also not bad to have a whole range of emotions. Joe, what if you feel a pang of jealousy when a girl uh, you like mentions a date she's gone on the other or another guy she finds hot? Get over it. Is she your girlfriend? She's probably testing you to see how secure you are. For me, I ground that. I laugh at that, especially if she's being coy with it. I know she's waiting to see my reaction. I know for a fact that if I handle that well, and I play with it, I even maybe tease her about it, have fun with it, that she's probably going to get more attracted to me after that. Unless it feels like I'm in the friend zone and she's actually asking me to solve her problem. That's different. Yeah, sometimes they'll just to unload their, if they think they put you in the friend zones, they'll talk about those guys to unload their pain. That's another thing that'll happen. Okay, so these are the qualities that make you attractive, guys. I want to focus on these qualities, and there's a lot of them. And if you can't feel this stuff in your own body, then you need to develop the feelings. Your body is a musical instrument. You got to learn to play it. You got to learn to work with it. You got to learn to flow with it, and you can do that by doing a little practices. How many of you are always thinking about what to say when you're on a date with a woman versus letting the conversation come to you? That's another good example. Like, just let the conversation, like, I'll let myself go silent and use silence as almost my power. Like, practice walking up to girls. And if you're really in feeling and you're comfortable, you can say hi and just kind of sit there for a minute and they'll go, what? And you can play with that, or you can stop a conversation in the middle, halfway through. You've been talking, you had a good conversation, just stop, lean back, look around, check out the band. I remember doing this. I was checking out the band, look back, and then she starts the conversation again because you get comfortable with silence. The key is comfort in your own body, not getting. The more my mind starts to race, the more I start to worry, the more I want to ground and relax my body. Okay? The more I want to start to calm my body down again, because that is the key. Just like I'm doing with you guys. I'm just relaxing with you guys. I'm talking, I'm flowing, I'm feeling. So I'm not sure what it means to be vulnerable. What I would tell you at that point is you have to learn. It starts with feeling your heart. It starts with doing like a heart meditation every day. And learning to ask your heart to open a little bit every day, get more vulnerable. You can do yoga meditations online. You can do just sitting there and doing releasing us on whatever's stuck in the heart, whatever's blocking the heart. I just sometimes just sit there and imagine my heart opening 1%, and the next day 1%, the next day 1%, until I start to feel something. We have exercises in the new ebook, and I haven't mentioned the new ebook yet, but the new ebook, it covers all of this, guys. The Art of Fearless Seduction. It covers all of these qualities that make you attractive, and it's now on sale. And there's probably going to be a link in here somewhere. I'm sure one of the guys will post it. But if you guys want to get that ebook, it'll cover each of these qualities with practices you can do for each one to start developing. And it's just an ebook, guys. And to me, those are the keys that make you the most attractive man to a woman. It's grounding, tension, decisiveness. How do you develop these? You know what I did? Instead of trying to develop them all at once, I practice one. At every day, I'd practice one a little bit. I take a skill set from each one. I'm going to work on tension today, and I'm going to do tension drills. Tomorrow, I'm going to do vulnerability drills. The next day, on every day, maybe every morning, I practice being more vulnerable through a meditation, because that actually works really well. Then I'll work on my turn on. I'll do meditations for welcoming and feeling turn on in my body, in my hips, waking up my hips. Then I work on talking to people from those parts of my body. Once I can feel some vulnerability, then I stand and I go out and say hi to people and I talk to them from the vulnerability. And if you start to nail it, you'll notice people will start to pull into you a little bit. Eventually I start working on more of my grounding. It's talking to people. Can I feel my legs and my grounding? Then eventually I start working on, can I step into my turn on and talk to people? And as I add each element, I stopped rushing to try to attract women, and I started working on connecting and getting people to connect with me. Anybody and everybody. I would talk to 30, 40, 50 people a day. And then eventually I started focusing more and more on the attractive women when I started getting really good at pulling people in conversation, at flowing back and forth. And I worked to get to that point where in a sense, I'll ask you guys this. How many of you could go out tomorrow or even tonight, have 10 conversations and pull 60%, probably say 5 out of those 6 into a really good flowing conversation where they really enjoy you and they want to know more? I'm talking about anybody. I'm not just talking about hot girls. And you should have those skill sets, man. You should be able to get people curious about you. And that's what these qualities teach. So I'm going to highly recommend for you guys that are interested in this, get the ebook. Get the new ebook that came out. It's the basics for what we teach. Attraction is created through tension skills, vulnerability skills, grounding skills, understanding how to be proactive with these skills, positive reality, turn on, decisiveness, leading skills, and containing. There's these two, and each one can be broken down as microcosm of practices, just like you would, like if you learn a piano, you practice the scales, you practice this, and you can do practices every day on each one of these till they start to become a part of who you are. Okay. I stopped the chat a while ago. There's 24 new chats. So I'm going to jump forward, guys. I'm going to miss a lot of your stuff. So, okay, at the top. Now I'm starting again. So I missed a bunch of your comments because there were so many. I couldn't keep up with you guys. You guys are awesome. So I apologize for that. Do you do your revealing in the beginning at the same time you were working on the qualities from the ebook? I don't understand your question, John. Please ask it again. I'm confused by it. Do you do your revealing from the beginning? Okay, Bully. Hey, buddy, what's up? What is it? Boulevard? Boulevard. I like that. I'm getting right now. Awesome, buddy. That's good to have you, man. Is it okay your nervousness with women and playing with, but with men you don't want to appear? Sure, I don't mind being nervous in front of guys. I don't want to be, dude. Don't hide your emotions from anybody. What is the message inside of you if you hide your emotions from anybody? The subconscious presupposition, or what do you tell your subconscious mind when you hide your feelings? That I have to pretend to be something I'm not, that my emotions don't matter, that I'm insecure, that I can't be real with people. So I could be fucking nervous. Yeah, you don't have to be all like trying to turn the dude on nervous. You could be like, yeah, dude, you make me nervous. And then you'd be like, let's go fucking do it though. Or that makes me nervous. Like I've had guys say that to me, like, dude, that makes me nervous. We got to do that. And that dude, I respect. I respect that guy. But if she was way hot, I shut down. I shut the fuck down because you're jumping the Grand Canyon, dude. You're going right for the hottest girls. Do you know how to talk to people yet and flow with people in general? Or is it just okay, you great with people and it's easy to talk to people and make people laugh, but when hot girls, I can't do it. That's a different story. Then don't worry about trying to turn on hot girls. The first thing you want to do is be able to get into conversations with hot girls, basic conversations. Like ask them some quick questions, and you want to develop it over time. Ask them the time, if that's all you can do. Ask them directions. Ask a second question. And then the key is not to win the girls over. Let that go. The key is for you to bring up your nervousness with the hot girls and then go release on it, meditate on it, feel it, process it out, and go do it again through systematic desensitization of showing yourself to getting in conversation with these hot girls over time. You get more and more relaxed in your body if you can feel your body in the first place. And then give yourself like 3 months of regular talking to, I'm going to talk to 10 a day or 5, or however many you can do. And I'm going to start slow and I'm going to celebrate every little success. That girl talked to me a little longer. That girl asked me a second question. That girl was curious about something. And then start learning to feel more parts of your body while you talk. Okay. So how can I talk from the stage to hundreds of people, from the stage freely to hundreds of people, but it's super intimidating one-on-one sometimes? Because you control the stage. When you get on the stage, dude, you're used to the stage, Daniel. It's your, like, you have control of everything. It's your territory. It's a known. Nobody can fuck with it because you're in charge. You're on the top of that stage. You can kick people out. It's not an unknown to you. You've gotten used to it. One-on-one, they can interrupt, they can reject, they can tell you no. If one person walks out of the stage, who cares? You're used to it. You know you're going to do a good job on that stage, so you know what to expect. That one hot girl, yeah, I'm bored, bye. That's what you want to get good at. When she says I'm bored, bye, you laugh at it and you say, damn, I got rejected good today. And then you tell your friends about it. And when you can reach that point, you'll start losing your fear of hot girls. The game is played in rejection, guys. It's about 80 pages in the ebook. The printed copy, it'll be longer. What if you have stomach pain from health problems and it feels very uncomfortable to feel? How do you feel? You feel the pain? You keep working on. I had to go through all the pain and meditate and meditate and meditate. Keep feeling it, welcoming it, letting it go. I did a whole hours and hours and hours of releasing on my gut problems till they started to calm down. A lot of gut problems are stored anxiety in the gut, fear. I can't tell you how many clients get sick. I've had clients throw up when we start doing the deep work. Their gut starts churning, all kinds of problems, because the gut has a lot to do with self-esteem and personal power. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have other things going on, like a stored bacteria, things like that. But I think the body lets those bacteria in, or the chemical imbalance, like your HCl might be off, things like that, because of the insecurity. In the sense, your chemical, every time you get nervous or insecure, you start to beat yourself up. You actually pull energy out of that part of your body. You create chemical imbalances. You change the acid alkaline balance of your stomach, which then allows bacteria to take a hold. So if you can get back into that part of your body and process all those deep emotions, I think the body can actually reverse and heal itself in those areas. But it doesn't mean the help of a good functional medicine doctor that understands stomach problems and bacteria and things like that, and can be really awesome too. The message when you hide it in your feelings, it matters what others think of me. Exactly. So we talk about freedom from outcome. It's another principle we talk about as being attractive as a man. And men that are free from outcome are comfortable with expression, comfortable with being outgoing, comfortable with talking, being seen. If they dance in public, it doesn't bother them. They can still be reserved. They can be primarily quiet, but if they get up and they want to dance for a minute, they can do it. And if they do get embarrassed, they own it. They're like, I'm going to dance, turn a little red. Yeah. And then I'm going to walk off. I'm going to dance. I danced one day at the mall randomly. Nobody else was dancing, by the way, just me. And I started, as people walk by, I would dance and say hi and invite them over to dance with me just to get comfortable being seen that day. That was one way. I've done it a million different things. That's just one of the many things I've done to be seen. Maybe we should add some elements to the ebook about freedom from outcome work and highs and expression work, and maybe do an ebook on how to desensitize to approaching, add an addendum there. I think that stuff would be cool. I cannot make myself be insecure, but I can be secure about being insecure. That seems to make me better with romantic interests. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I didn't say make yourself be insecure. Like find the girl that makes you a little nervous and talk to her because you like her, and then go up and own it. When you started revealing, there's a lot of heavy stuff you were working on. Did you also work the ebook qualities at the same time? I'm working on grounding and revealing and wondering. A lot of the qualities in the ebook got developed over many years of working with clients, myself. So I was working on a lot of those qualities even before I started revealing. And then when I got into revealing, I would do work on one of those qualities, and then I'd reveal on the quality itself, releases and reveals on the resistance to tension, comfort with tension, comfort with anger. Anger is a big one because tension and anger are synonymous. So as you get more comfortable with tension, you'll get more comfortable with anger, being angry and receiving anger and not taking it personal, not getting reactive to it, not getting mad about it, and getting really comfortable and just stepping into it. So anger, getting comfortable with anger, proactive anger, can then lead quickly to courage, and that destroys the nice guy. So just a revealing update. We're going to be adding that to the revealing process down the road too. The first book was written by Brian and his other partner. Jonathan's talking about this. Yes, I had an earlier book. It's over 10 years old. I think it was written in 2009. So you guys are welcome to check that out too. It's a people still love it. I don't remember everything that's in it, to be honest, anymore. I remember the basics of what I wrote, but people still tell me how much they love that book, and it's changed their lives. How do I make fear my friend? A little bit at a time. Brian, go out and look for things that make you nervous. Start a tension journal. I just did a video on it. It'll be out in a week or two. There's other tension journal videos that we've done. There's tension journals in the ebook. We talk about it. Go out and create a tension journal, and just anything you're nervous that makes you scared, call it a fear journal, a confidence journal rather than a fear journal. And every day on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most fear you can handle, do something that's 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's something that excites you, that would be fun to do, makes you a little nervous, but also grows you. And go do it. Go do 4 or 5 for like 15 to a half hour every day. Just do as many things as you can. Go from one to the next. I'll do that. That's a 2 or a 3 on the scale. That's a 4 on the scale. And then after you're done, journal everything you learned from it and realize, and do it again the next day, and do it again the next day, and start getting comfortable walking and looking for tension or fear, and then walking into it a little bit at a time and enjoying the tension until you relax into it. You'll probably hit some flow states. Do that for at least a month, preferably 3 months, and watch how much more comfortable you become. Where you might be trying to step into too much tension, i.e. too much fear, and so you're not comfortable. But in time, what seems like too much will become easy as you get better and better at this skill. I want to know about, Sean asked about my friendship with Zan, and how he made, when I first heard of Zan, he was a teacher and I was a nobody. I hadn't done anything. And I watched a lot of his early DVD series, The Way of the Natural, I think it was. And I watched him, and what I mostly did was model how he felt and the way he communicated and his flow and how much he enjoyed women. I really took to how much he enjoyed women. He loved being the pirate and enjoying women and creating an intrigue with women and a dance with women. And I kind of took to that. So that's how he really helped me. It was this idea that women are beautiful and that beauty needs a witness. And I remember there was one thing he said. He said that he was talking about, just having fun with women and not taking rejection personal at all. And this is really connected in my head. He talked about how he would go downstairs and he'd see this barista and he would say, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so, like, what's your name? I've never met you before. You're new here." Yeah. "Oh, you're really cute. We should need to hang out sometime. When are we going to hang out? Oh, and when are you going to come join me for a coffee or a tea or whatever?" I don't know what she said. What he said. She said, "I can't. I have a boyfriend." And he goes, "Well, you're still sexy." And then he walks away. And then he comes back the next day. "Oh, you again. You're still here. I see that." And she's like, "Yeah." And she smiles a little bit, right? And then he orders another coffee and he says something else to her. And then he goes, "You know what? When are we going to hang out?" She goes, "You just asked me that." She said, "I told you I have a boyfriend." And then he'll say something like, "And I have 2 bottles of champagne, one to drink and one to pour all over your body," and then turns and just walks away again. And in the meantime, she's giggling and laughing. And yes, she has a boyfriend and he's keeping it light, but he's not taking her rejection personal. So she can have fun with him because it's nothing serious right now. She's got a boyfriend, and every day he can come in and tease her because he doesn't make her feel guilty or ashamed, doesn't pressure her. What happens the moment she doesn't have a boyfriend anymore? Who does she start to think of? And I always remembered when he said that, and I would go around and I would crack jokes and play and flirt with everybody. And I didn't care if I was good at it. I was practicing freedom from outcome. I wasn't worried about. So I walk up to a barista or a girl at the restaurant, and I would say stuff like, I remember the first time I did it, I was like, I'm just going to tease this girl. I don't even know if this is going to work. I might get yelled at. I don't know. I said, but I can. And then I asked myself, can I handle it if I get yelled at? Yeah, I can. If I get kicked out of the restaurant, that's fine too. I was super nervous, and I had never really pushed like this. So she was getting this roll of quarters that was wrapped in the plastic, and she was trying to rip it out, and she was stuck because she couldn't give me the change. She was looking down, and she's doing this. And then I was sitting there, and I just go, come on. I don't have all day, you know. And then she goes, I'm sorry. And she starts ripping at it harder. And I was kind of smiling like this. And then she finally looked up and saw I was smiling. And I don't remember if I winked at her or what I did. And then she said something like, well, you better be careful. I'm not going to give you your money back or something like that. She got cocky with me suddenly out of nowhere. And I saw her smile. And then I laughed. Then I said something else. She said something else. I don't remember what it was. I just remember the first thing I said. And then she pulled out a large drink, handed it to me, and said, here, have this for free. And I was like, well, that was interesting. So I took it, went in, walked off with it, came back the next day, teased her again. Another free drink. Started teasing some of the other girls. Now I have 3 girls in there. I'm teasing every day. I'm practicing on. It's a El Pollo Loco restaurant. Pretty soon I'm getting full meals for free. They just slide it over here, take it. One girl in the drive-thru handed me a meal. Just take it home. And they would all come out and talk to me at my table. And I started to say, this is really interesting. So my ability to tease them and play with tension comfortably and relax into it and actually turn it into a flow, really, and taking the tension, turning it into a flow, is equal to being a hot chick. I started taking it to different places, and I had the same results. And I found this fascinating. It didn't hook with everybody. Some girls kind of ignored it. Some girls didn't. But certain girls it hooked with. And when it hooked, it was on. And the ones that didn't, they weren't having it. And then I did another experiment. And this was really interesting. I went to a coffee shop. It was actually not far from my home in Los Angeles at the time. And there was this really cute Asian girl behind the counter. And I remember, and you got 36 unread messages, guys. You guys are killing me here. So I'm telling this story. I'm going to stick to it for now. And I remember I said specific things to her. I teased her and I bantered with her in a specific way, but I didn't connect with her first. I didn't step into the tension. I didn't create a connection. I didn't create a container. And so I just kind of flowed. I threw stuff off the cuff, and she said stuff back, and it was nice. But it was completely unrememberable. And so I went and sat down. The next day I came back, and I thought, that same barista's there. I'm going to say the same exact shit. But this time I'm going to wait till I create some tension with her, create a connection and create a container. So now she starts to talk. She says, hey, can I help you? And I stop, and I wait for her to look at me and lock in a little bit. And then she finally looks up because I don't say anything. And I go, hi, how's your day going? And she said something back. And then I started, boom. And this time, there's a connection now. There's a little bit of tension between us. And I would say it with the tension. I'd look into her and say it. And then the next thing, and I still don't remember what I said back then. And then she didn't remember either, because she responded again. And it was like she didn't say, you said this yesterday. Now, obviously, because what I said the day before wasn't memorable because I wasn't in the tension. And I had a whole different woman that day. The whole way she responded was much better because I waited and created a container and commanded the tension and played. I led it. In other words, I led the interaction and grounded the interaction. The first time I just kind of threw it out there. So hopefully that helps you guys. I'm going to catch up with the messages again. Again, if you want to develop these qualities and you want a deeper understanding of all of them, then get the ebook, guys. The ebook is the basics. It's not going to teach you everything, but if you learn the basics, even in martial arts, dude, or in boxing, that's 90% of the game. You get the basics down and you practice them over and over within a set format, your life will change. Now, we are planning to build more teachings where we're going to have live group discussions with the coaches around each one of the principles in this ebook. We're going to have a deeper discussion with the coaches where we tell stories about when we've used tension and how we used it, or when we used vulnerability and how we used it, or when we stepped into turn on. One of my favorite energies is turn on, guys. You guys do not understand the power of owning your turn on and not apologizing for it, being free from outcome with your turn on. That gets women more than anything. Women love it. Women love a guy who knows how to be turned on and doesn't apologize for it, isn't ashamed of it, isn't embarrassed of it, and isn't pushing it on them, but isn't not pushing it on them. He's like, here it is, if you want to join it. And then he steps into the tension. He's teasing with it. He's having fun with it. Women love that guy. And so turn-on's in there too. And that's one of my favorite energies. So there's another link to the ebook in there. Let me take another quick gander. I think we're at about an hour now, so we're going to call this soon. I missed a lot of your comments. I'm just going to peek through them. Good. And I'm going to jump to the Q&A. I didn't even look at the Q&A, guys. I apologize, but there's 4 questions in there. I'm going to do a speed read through the 4 questions, and that's it. No more. Sean K., I truly want to know how Zan impacted you. I already answered that question. As a friend and as a person. And Zan's still a good friend of mine. We chat every once in a while. I haven't seen him in a bit because I haven't been back to Romania. Love the guy. Okay. Okay, we're down to 3. Boulevard. Brian, how can I improve on staying grounded when talking to attractive women? A little bit at a time. It's 1%, bully. So start where you're at. Go out and talk to a woman and get a baseline. How much does the energy rise in your body? I know you know what I'm talking about because you've been in some of our events. And then go out, and I want you to talk to 5 more with no agenda, just watching and observing how much the energy rises and how much you can't feel your legs, the back of your legs, your back, all the grounding parts of your body. And then each time you go talk to another woman, I don't want you to have an agenda. Just work on feeling your back more, your legs more, and keep doing that every day for a couple of weeks, and start to notice that pretty soon you're going to start to relax more into your back and your legs if you keep holding that intention. And you're going to be able to talk to them, hear them, and feel your legs and your back at the same time and stay relaxed. It might take a week, 2 weeks, or a little longer, depending on how nervous you are. But that's how I would do it. Every day I'd walk up, say, if I was working on my heart, can I feel my heart while I'm talking to her? And can I remember feeling my heart during the conversation? I wouldn't focus on more than that. One area at a time, maybe the back, then the legs and the back. And then what happens with time, it becomes an unconscious competence. You don't have to think about it anymore. Your body just like being on a surfboard, your body feels and moves and adjusts. So as one area starts to become more connected in a sense, and you can feel that sense of sinking down, and you're getting more relaxed because you're starting to really get comfortable feeling your legs, and you move to another area. You go a little deeper. You say, can I go deeper with this now? Can I relax the bottom of my feet? Can I relax my ankles? The more you find the tense spots in your bodies, and this is for everybody, the more you're going to improve. And the less you'll think, the more you'll be putting awareness on feeling. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. That wasn't a short answer, but that was an answer. Joe Berger, got any advice for getting the jump on COVID energetically? I am knowing you've been in close contact recently. Close contact with what? Been doing a gratitude meditation to get my vibration up, and only mild symptoms so far. But what more can I do to help to minimize the effects of the virus? Do you have the virus? Is that what you're saying? And you're trying to heal from it? I'm not understanding, Joe. Are you worried about getting it? Knowing you've been in close contact. I thought you were saying, I know you've been. I thought you were telling me. When I got sick, I got the fever. I know I had COVID. I had all the symptoms. So I was really sick for a while. I was kind of writing it out. I wasn't really worried about it. It's just like the flu. I've had the flu before. I'm not old. I don't have any comorbidities. So what I did was I started to turn on, I remember it was getting pretty bad. So I turned on books and videos. I turned on The Secret, anything that made me get an endorphin pop. And The Secret, for some reason, always makes me feel good. So I just watched it and I felt really good. And I listened to really good music after that really causes my endorphins to flow. That makes me feel light. And I don't know, an hour later, it was gone. The fever broke and it never came back. So, and I had my endorphins flying. I was in a deep meditative state for an hour or so before that. Then an hour after I finished that and kind of fell asleep, it went away. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it or it's coincidence, but that's what happened. When you say turn on, do you mean lust or sexual attraction? I mean turn on. Lust is actually a wanting, and in turn on, I'm in enjoying. Okay, that's it. I'm just really enjoying. I'm relaxing into my body. I'm enjoying the warm, fuzzy energy in my hips and in my cock, but I'm not chasing. Lusting implies chasing. I might even push a woman back, enjoy my turn on because I want to build a little bit of that that tension between us. And then attraction, you could say attraction. Yeah, attraction can be part of turn on, but it can be attracted for your artwork. You can be attracted for your to your job. You can be attracted to a woman. And so the turn on kind of creates this passion or this desire to move and do something. And so I would say rather than lust, I'm in choice. I want to move that lust to choice. Okay. And feel powerful in my choice to enjoy this woman, to think she's sexy, to think she's beautiful. And that's pretty much it. Awesome, guys. You guys are awesome. I want to hear what you guys think of the ebook too. Maybe we'll do maybe we'll do that next Thursday. How many of you have the ebook? Because I really want to, I don't know if we got enough yet, but if we got enough guys that have the ebook, what I would love to see you guys do. How many, is there at least 5 of you that have the ebook on this call? 10 of you? Okay, cool. There's enough of you. That's perfect. What I want to dedicate next week's calls to are, anybody can be on the call, but I want to answer the questions of people that have the ebook and that have read it. How does that sound, guys? Would you guys like to do that? Like, if you read through it, you can get on the call and you answer, and I'll answer all your questions as much as I can, keep up with you guys that have the ebook, but it's got to be questions from the ebook. Not the random, I got this thing over here, how do I turn this girl into a friend, that type of stuff. The ebook, there's a link to it. It's called The Art of Fearless Seduction. It's not an ebook about how to, it's an ebook about how to be a grounded, solid, masculine guy. It's not an approach ebook. It's not it's about developing these qualities inside your body so you radiate them. I might do some ebooks later on how to, how decent, like I want to do one purely on field desensitization exercises. Would you guys like that, on how to desensitize yourself to approaching and flowing with women and communication? And it'll be a book that'll be filled with all kinds of exercises you can do for that. How many of you guys would like that? Okay, cool. That could just be a video series where I just demo it and break it down too. That would probably be even easier, where I just, you guys ever wonder, any of you guys ever wonder why I don't do infield? We were talking about this today. We get a lot of requests for infield. It's top searched on the internet for my stuff. And it's really simple, because what's the premise of our teaching? Protect, love, honor women, protect women's fantasies, honor women's fantasies, intimacy. Like if I'm getting intimate with a woman, that's her time with me, and I'm going to protect it. If I'm out there secretly filming women and putting a little blotching over their face, am I doing that? No. Also, as you get better, you don't necessarily go out and approach women all day. You kind of meet women everywhere. You get introduced, friends meet them. You ever ask a natural how he meets women? Does he go out and approaching? And he's like, no, I just kind of met her. And it kind of just happens. Like we're down here at the restaurant. I'll flirt every day with the girl at the restaurant. Maybe I'll meet her. Maybe some other girl will hear me flirting. I'll go over here, and it's kind of casually happening throughout your day. Now, that doesn't mean I can't have a camera and follow me to do that, but then I have to, again, blur them out. And it just seems wrong. Like, imagine if I had a video of me taking a girl to home to bed, and I had a blurred out face, but you can hear her voice, kind of tell what she's wearing, and you realize that's like your best friend or your sister or something. That's kind of fucked up, isn't it? And that's why I don't do that. That's her time with me, and I don't want to get that reputation. And Daniel wrote, my friend who is a natural has never approached a girl. They always approach him. I have one friend like that. Now, I do have to approach women, and I have to go start interactions. I don't get as many women approaches. Happen, but it's more rare. I had another friend, though, dude. Oh, my God. He was a male bartender, shirtless bartender in Vegas, and I would take him out. Oh, my God, girl after girl. He was like my lure. Just come, bump, 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 get next to him, want to try to talk to him. And what I started doing was realizing he was my bait, man. I loved it, because I could cock better than him. I was more grounded. So I'd hit him over there, and then I would start talking to the girls after they came over, and it was great. And a lot of girls would get really attracted to me, and then I would end up hanging out with them. It was perfect. Made life easy for me. Give you another one. There's so many creative ways too. Another friend of mine is a little short guy, great artist. He actually has a cartoon series on TV now. He was a client of mine. He was a phenomenal sketch artist. So he would go into bars, he'd see pretty girls, and he'd do a quick sketch on his pad of the girls, and he'd hold it up, and they come walking over to him and sit down. He'd do this all the time. That's how he'd meet girls. So yeah, he didn't have to be loud and boisterous, did he? But he was good and seductive. He would lock in and he would talk to them and take them down. And after they came over, he just had to get them into this little bubble somehow, you know? Yeah, hard work beats the naturals. That's Michael Jordan, guys. Like, think about it. He wasn't the best basketball player in high school, but he became the best through hard fucking work, through consistent work. I love to say consistent work more than hard work. Consistent work is amazing. Now, one of the things we've been talking about, I'm going to end on this, is, and make sure you get the ebook. We'll do this next week. But one of the things we've been talking about is maybe taking a camera out and having some conversations on the street, flirting with people, joking with people, having a good time with people, and just putting it on camera, doing interviews, asking girls, what their favorite whatever is, what's their favorite qualities in a guy, what's the weirdest way at time a guy's ever tried to kiss you, things like this. Maybe have some fun with that and see what happens with that. So that could be interesting. So if you guys like stuff like that, maybe we'll do a few of those. But I'm more interested in the deep questions. Fun questions are great, but I'm more interested in asking girls serious questions about dating and relationships, talking to them, joking with them, guys too. And that could be a really good time. So another thing we're considering, if you guys like stuff like that, maybe we'll do it. Does that sound interesting to you guys? And I'm going to bring more girls. The next thing we're going to do is bring more girls in studios to have them in videos. So we'll get some hot girls in here and do some videos with them, break down what they like in men, but also do some sub-communication videos. Maybe we'll take them out and we'll do it out on the street at the beach or something around people and start doing stuff out there too. There's so many things you can do with this, but awesome, guys. It's a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, body language is one of my favorites, but body language comes down to, it's driven by feeling. The depth of feeling and vulnerability and all that affects the subcommunication on such micro levels you can hardly see it with the naked eye, but it causes a reaction in the body of the other person. And that's why I can show you what's going on in the body language and the energy, but that's all driven by the depth of feeling. So that's even going to go deeper. And we love to do that in the workshops, to really get down to that level. See you in January in LA. Awesome, Brad. I'm looking forward to that. It'd be awesome to have you. Thanks, Brian. Powerful stuff as always. You guys are awesome. Jonathan, he's posted a link for anybody that wants to check it out for the Fearless book. Jonathan's awesome. He works his ass off. So send Jonathan some love. He does a lot of writing for me. He helped me a lot with the book as far as getting it written, because I'm not a great writer, but I'm a great speaker. I'm a good writer. That's not true. I just don't like to do it. So I'd sit down with Jonathan and I would speak a lot of what I wanted to write, and then he would put it into words for me. I'm actually I used to do a lot of copywriting, but I don't like to sit. I like to do. So tell Jonathan thank you for helping with the whole process, and send him some love, guys, if you don't mind. He works his ass off for you guys, and he works his ass off to be good with women. And he's 5'2" too. So don't let that stop you, the height thing. I don't let bald head stop me. I don't let age stop me. Nothing. Okay. Okay, guys, we'll see you next Thursday. We're going to look at either next Thursday or the Thursday after that. I want to do one on the ebook where you can just take your questions from you guys on the ebook and start from there. Okay, guys, have a beautiful day. You guys are awesome. Beautiful night. And that's it. We'll see you all soon.